Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be doing my top 10 manga I've read so far. I've done many lists on this channel, but I don't think I've ever done one for my own, my own top 10 manga of all time. So now after I read a lot of different series, I feel like now I could actually give a pretty good top 10 list, because before I didn't really read that much manga, or haven't really completed many series. So now that I've completed a lot more, I think I could actually give a good top 10. And before we begin, thank you guys for 100 subscribers. Definitely means a lot. I know right now we're kind of like way past that, but appreciate you guys watching and supporting me. Definitely, yeah, it came quick. One of my One Piece videos blew up, and then it just all came in all at once. So thank you guys a lot for everything, and let's get right into it. So at number 10, we have Blue Flag. So this is a romance series, and it's actually pretty short. Usually romance series go on for like 15, 20 volumes, even more. This one only lasts 8 volumes, and I've only read the seven volumes out of the 8, because the 8th one actually just released and it's coming in the mail. It's really cool. It's really good manga. It's definitely something I recommend for everyone, especially if you're new to romance. It's definitely, since it's shorter, I feel like people get into it more. And honestly, I wish this was longer. I know it's coming to an end soon, but like I kind of wish this was longer. I absolutely love like the story and like the love triangle between the 3 characters. And I think it's just amazing. It also deals with some like LGBTQ stuff, which is pretty cool. And yeah, that is Blue Flag. So at number 9, we have Message to Adolf. This is my first Isamu Tezuka, my only Isamu Tezuka work I have from him. And it's amazing. I really love history stuff, like kind of like historical manga. And this one, it was just so good. It was super well paced. It's hard to give a synopsis about this manga because, or at least without getting into spoilers. So I would just honestly just pick it up and read it. It is super good. It's basically about this guy who basically ends up with documents about Adolf Hitler that could bring his tyranny down, and basically there's just like people, not like Nazis chasing after him to try to get them back, but there's also, that's kind of like the underlying story. The main story is with these 2 other characters they're both named Adolf, and they're like friendship. And I feel like the both of these like kind of like stories that happen in this, they're all kind of like intertwined and stuff. So it's not just like 2 separate stories, but it's super good. I definitely recommend it. And that is Message to Adolf. At number 8, we have Levis. So honestly, I don't even know how much volumes this is. There's the first hardcover, and then there's the sequel, which is 1 through 8 I have so far, which is Levis EST. This is such an underrated series. I don't see enough people talking about this. I feel like this is such an amazing series. I feel like I don't know why I like it so much. I mean, the art is like nothing crazy. I kind of like how they draw, how he draws the characters, but it's not anything crazy art. The story is also like pretty good, but I feel like the characters are kind of like the strongest part. Especially the main character, Levius. He's so cool. He's such a cool character. And basically, I actually made a video on this, so I'm not gonna go into in depth. But this is basically about cybernetic MMA fighting with like modified body parts and stuff. It's really cool, and definitely recommend it for anyone. Honestly, it's a seinen manga as well, and I like the seinen genre a lot, or the seinen demographics. So yeah, Levius is definitely something I would like. At number 7, we have 20th Century Boys. This is by Naoki Urasawa. I think this is also my first Naoki Urasawa work I picked up, and I definitely was not disappointed. 20th Century Boys is an amazing series. It has my favorite antagonist of all time, Friend. If you read it, a lot of people do agree with me that the antagonist is definitely amazing. Like kind of like Message to Adolf, it's kind of hard to give a synopsis, so just pick it up and read it. It is really amazing, really well written. The only thing I could say is that the pacing is a bit slow because of all the flashbacks and stuff. But I kind of got used to it after a while. But yeah, just keep that in mind. The pacing is a bit slow, at least for my liking. So yeah, that is that's 20th Century Boys. At number 6, we have Vagabond. So again, I actually read this, or I actually haven't finished this series yet. I've only read 4.5 volumes. I'm on volume 5 right now. And mainly I would have finished the series a long time ago if it was in stock. Literally, this series is impossible to get. I like to get the series kind of like in chronological order. But so like I was waiting for volume 5 to come out, but then I got it and then everything else went out of stock. So it's just an entire, mess. But this is my first samurai story, and it's definitely something I really like. I definitely want to pick up more samurai stories after this one because it's just kind of it's so amazing. I love the main character. The side character is also really good. Even that one character, I forgot his name because I haven't read it in a while. But that one character that everyone that is pretty dislikable. I honestly like him as well. Pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, it's just about this guy who wants to become, as he says, invincible under the sun. So yeah, that is Vagabond. So now we're going to my top 5, and at number 5, it's Beastars. Definitely also another underrated series. I don't think enough people are reading this, mainly because it's about furries and stuff, but they're definitely missing out on a great series. I mean, Beastars, just like everything that's going on, like the romance and, like kind of like the action elements thrown into it are definitely like, oh, it is just so good. The pacing is really good too. It's probably has one of the most intriguing stories I've ever read. And although the most recent volume it's kind of like an end of an arc, it didn't really wrap up the arc that well, or whatever was going on beforehand. But it's still, I still can't wait for more. There's like 12 volumes in the series right now, and there's 22 in total, so still a long way to go. But that is Beastars. So number 4, we have One Piece. A lot of people might be surprised that this is so low. They might think it should be higher up, but I think kind of like these top 5, they're like super close to each other. It was pretty hard to make this top 5 because all these series are just so amazing. They're all S tier. But One Piece is number 4. Obviously, the world building, the cast of characters, probably the best cast of characters in any manga I've ever read. Main character Luffy, great main character for the story, and also the antagonists are also the antagonists aren't that amazing. So, from what I've read so far, I'm on volume 51. It is such a cool series, and it's definitely something. It's definitely long, like obviously it has like 90, almost 100 volumes, but it's definitely worth it. 100% recommend it. Check it out if you haven't already. And that's One Piece. At number 3, we have Goodnight Punpun. So it's also pretty difficult to give a Goodnight Punpun a synopsis, but it's kind of like a slice of life. It follows the main character Punpun and basically just follows him from when he's a kid to like a young adult, and pretty much all the struggles he goes through. And it's definitely a depressing story. I also talked about this on my channel, one of my earlier videos. Actually, I made a review on it, and definitely not meant. It is definitely not meant for everybody. It deals with a lot of like darker themes and darker concepts. So if you're into that like I am, definitely go check it out. It's number 3 for a reason. Really great series, and it's Inio Asano. What you can't go wrong with Inio Asano. He makes a lot of great stuff. So yeah, that is Goodnight Punpun. And number 2, we have Attack on Titan. This is definitely a great series as well. Obviously the ending, the ending is very controversial, but honestly, I'm not gonna really give my opinions on that because to be honest, I don't really have an opinion on it. It's kind of just like whatever. But a lot of people think that since the ending sucked, that means the entire series sucked. I don't think that's a great way to think about it because Hajime Isayama, he made this entire series. He built this story from the ground up, and it was the way he did it, all the writing and everything that went into it was so amazing. You can't forget about that, and a lot of people did when they read the ending. But honestly, the ending isn't too bad. People are definitely making it a lot worse than it is actually. But 100%, if you haven't read Attack on Titan, I don't know what you're doing. You're definitely sleeping on one of the greatest series, definitely a modern classic. Yeah, moving on to number 1. Before we actually go to number 1, I'm gonna give some honorable mentions. So I have Uzumaki, horror manga, that I definitely recommend. It's Junji Ito. Of course, you can't go wrong with that. It would probably be 11th on this list, but yeah, it's Uzumaki. And then there's also Slam Dunk, by the same creator as Vagabond. And I've only read the first volume, that's why it's not in this list. Slam Dunk is definitely going to be in this list because I'm for some reason I'm so intrigued with it. It's just that I can't find any of the volumes anywhere, so can't really read it if I don't have it. I might read it online, we'll see. But yeah, those are basically just some of the honorable mentions, and let's get on to number 1. So at number 1, we have Vinland Saga. This is my favorite series of all time that I've read so far. Absolutely love it. It has, also one of my favorite antagonists, kind of like 20th Century Boys, and it has my favorite main character, Thorfinn. He's my favorite of all time. And I mean, Vinland Saga is, again, like I said before, I love history, historical stuff. So this fits what I like. And I honestly recommend this for everyone. It's a seinen, but honestly, I think anyone can pick it up and enjoy it a lot. I think it's super amazing. Although the volumes are coming out like extremely slow, the volumes are coming out like once a year. So that sucks, but still such an awesome series. Absolutely love it. I love like the redemption, revenge, and all like these different topics that come into the series, and just like make it what it is. An amazing series, basically. So I mean, this is my top 10 manga of all time. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to all that stuff. Sorry I haven't been uploading like the past 2 weeks or last week because I got sick and I couldn't really, it was hard. I couldn't even get out of bed. It was really bad. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next video. Peace.